Mm.
Yeah,
It reminds me of, remember when the AVGN, like, was all the rage, and then there was that era of YouTube where everybody tried to copy him?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Because like,
it's that kind of effect.
I was never a big AVGN fan myself, and so I saw a lot of people try and copy him, and even like people who did like movies and stuff like that. Like the Nostalgia Critic, I think he kind of patterns himself
Oh
after him a little
yeah.
bit. Like all these people tried to pick up on that style. And
I mean, that's how we have JonTron.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But eventually, he kind of found his own voice.
But you still have like, oh god, what the hell's that guy's name? The Irate Gamer.
The worst kind of AVGN clone is when you literally
Yep,
try to be exactly like him, but you fail so in every way.
yep.
Did you know that like a television company, I can't remember which one, tried to pick up AVGN, but because of how hard he cursed, they were turned off to the idea, so they picked up Irate Gamer instead,
What?
and were like using him as like an advertising platform. So that got the Irate Gamer up even higher on like YouTube's algorithm back then.
Why would they go to AVGN and then say you curse too much?
Because they wanted like somebody
Just the notoriety?
somebody
Yeah.
to like sponsor them, but then they were like, well, this guy curses like a fuck ton. And the Irate Gamer was supposed to be, apparently he was a Christian or some shit, like a hardcore Christian, so he
He
didn't
was a
curse.
straight knockoff, like nothing original. He reviewed older games, which AVGN did, and he had some of the same styles to his videos as well. Like you can just tell he's being, a knockoff.
Yep.
He tried to be angry all the time.
Yeah, angry all the time, same gimmick. It's like, you can do a straight up review without having some gimmick behind it, like being too happy or too angry or something. You could just give a straight formal review.
Yeah, you could have a review without some lazy gimmick like always trying to say something nice about it, or
Or breaking your video game consoles. And
Or-
I always
or-
found that funny.
Be like, this fucking game spews out fecal fucking matter, fecal fuck a piece of shit, all that kind of stuff.
This game
like,
sucks. I'm gonna break my PS4 now.
like the only way you could play it is if you find something nice to say about it, and then you name your channel, say something nice.
Clever. But seriously, I just don't think that
My stupid gimmick.
I just go ahead.
That is the bandwagon effect, after all. People try to see something popular, they try to copy it. Happens with every freaking thing. It happened with the AVGN, the Nostalgia Critic, and nowadays still continuing, the Facecam LPer, the one that gets scared of literally everything in every popular horror game.
PewDiePie.
Yes.
Looks at every horror game. I'm looking at you, Scott Cawthon. You and your freaking games are the most guilty of that in just the past year alone.
It's really sad, but I started you can pick whichever scenario you want is sad because this is gonna go places. I started watching PewDiePie again out of fucking nowhere, mostly because he's hit that point of being a billionaire that I think everybody hits, where they just don't give a fuck. Like he's like, fuck it, I'm PewDiePie, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, no doubt.
So he's already hit this point of just like dry cynicism, and I think that's refreshing. But he made a video recently where he's like, I'm fucking depressed. I can't even play the video games I want to play anymore. I can't even play the video games I want to play without being this fucking guy on the camera anymore.
Interesting.
But he's making a lot of freaking money. Like,
Yes.
I honestly
Stop.
You kind of get locked into a persona, I think.
Yeah,
He-
yeah.
You have YouTubers that say all sorts of profanities all the fucking time. And recently, he keeps getting into headlines because he made a joke
Oh, you
on
made like
one of his recent videos
made
that
like a
was just a
Jacksepticeye
Death All Jews joke. And everyone was like, oh my god, I can't believe PewDiePie said that.
Well, it's because his demographic is kids.
which is funny.
it really doesn't matter what the guy says. He's gonna keep getting like those views and views and money, money, money.
He has so much momentum. It's
Yeah,
unreal.
that your face when YouTube starts punishing every single small creator for not being family friendly. Meanwhile, their biggest content creator
Yeah.
is not in the least bit family friendly.
Well,
Oh.
because he brings in that advertising money.
Well, he's
Oh,
throwing all
God.
that out the window now, so I'm curious on how that will actually affect
As I think
anything.
as long as he gets views, like as long as he gets the views that he gets, they don't want to take him off because, you know.
It's this weird paradigm of just like the rich is gonna keep getting richer.
Yes.
Like, I think he dethroned, I think it was Ray William Johnson, but like that was because Ray William Johnson was literally an unmarketable asshole.
Hey, another horrible YouTuber. Good
Mhm.
God, those videos where I just cannot stand like 1 minute. I'm like, I'm done. I don't know how people like this.
Actually, now really giving it some more thought, it's like YouTube has one really big problem right now, and that's they think a bit too much into the present. It's okay to think about the present, but they also got to think about adverse effects in the future because, yeah, PewDiePie brings in a lot of goddamn advertising money because
He's not
of
going
his
to be there
status.
forever.
But exactly, he's not going to be there forever, and there's going to come a day where there's no more pewds. So what the hell are they going to do? And because they kept punishing all their smaller content creators that could have
Right.
been bigger, they're all going to get sick of it, and that'll be prime opportunity for another video site to come in and try to steal that momentum and become the next big thing.
I'm still
that's-
waiting for
that's-
that YouTube competitor. I'm still waiting.
Same
That's
here.
exactly
I
what
keep
I have.
thinking it's gonna come out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Also,
like
I guess the only thing that might kind of get in the way of that is the the companies behind YouTube now that might just try to absorb.
You
try to
do
absorb
have
a
to go up
competitor.
to bat against Google, which is
Yeah, but at some point, like you said, at some point they're gonna have to either fix it or it will crumble.
I'm curious if it's due to a patenting thing. Like, I wonder if
Usually.
Google has created. I wouldn't put it past them. I wonder if Google's
Yeah.
created like an iron. Like, I mean, the most vague fucking pattern to be like, we hold all rights to a video sharing platform, and that's it.
And yeah.
I don't know. I bet it would have caused some kind of stink by now, but
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, but they could even maybe secretly hold a patent to some kind of software that is key into a video platform service being able to take off quickly.
that and
Yeah, there's
you
no telling.
you also have to think about the fact that the only way that could work is if everybody on YouTube, not everybody, but like popular big hitters who would
Yes.
never leave YouTube, left YouTube. Because what's going to happen is you also have to think it's not just Google owns YouTube, Google owns Google.
Right.
If somebody's just
Google
like,
owns Google.
like, I
Google.
know-
Stay woke, guys. Google.
what a
Weird.
fucking revelation. But what I mean by that is, if I'm an average Joe who doesn't actually watch a lot of videos, and I'm like, what the fuck is Resident Evil 7? And I type in Resident Evil 7 gameplay into YouTube, do you think they're gonna pass your link? Like, the link to this new video sharing website, that's
True.
not gonna pop up for pages.
Right.
They're
you're
gonna try and route you to their website.
Right.
oh please, it'll be like the page 99 and you still won't find anything on Daily
Yeah.
Motion.
Yep.
No, I mean, remember I said that I Googled Five Nights at Freddy's on the Google search engine, and the very top of the page is Markiplier. Yeah,
Big
they
thumbnail.
right.
Gotta get him with that too.
Was his most popular video on his entire channel, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I didn't even know what a Let's Play was, but there it was at the very top of the search. So
I feel so sorry for anyone who legitimately likes FNAF and tries to LP it, but just gets so overshadowed.
right.
Yeah, so
seriously.
many people
I
are
tried
doing it.
playing it just to see what it was like, and I was just like, it's fine enough. It wasn't like the most popular thing I've ever done, but I just enjoyed it because it was a game. That was
I
fun.
streamed the beginning of Sister Location and got jump scared and I popped my jaw. So after
Oh
that, I
my
stopped
God.
playing.
God.
That
damn.
sounds terrible.
It really hurt. So I was like, I don't think I should play this anymore, and I haven't yet.
Some bad juju.
Some bad choo-choo. But yeah, like, I really just hate getting on the bandwagon and, like, playing what everyone else is playing, because it gets, like, oversaturated. What I like to do is I just like to play the games that resonate to me the most, and I don't really care if like it's on release day or not. If I really enjoy playing it, then I'm gonna just pick it up and record it. But I try not to, do what everyone else is doing. So when Resident Evil 7 was like out, everyone was fucking doing it.
There's actually been times like, again, I haven't done a legitimate Let's Play in like a year, only because we've just we found it easier for our like group to just do clips. Like we have NVIDIA Shadowplay, which constantly records, and you just hit Alt F10, it saves the past 2 minutes. So we all just upload that, and then one of us edits the whole damn thing into one video.
Nice.
Wow.
And it's really lazy, honestly.
So you each play like separate 2-minute clips? I mean, obviously not just the 2-minute clips, but like if we were to watch the video straight through, it would jump from person to person.
It would jump. Like the first third would probably be, I think, me, and then my friend, and then another friend. It'd come back to that topic in like 3 months, because apparently in the recent beta update, there's all sorts of talks for a brand new client, like head to toe redesign. Yeah.
So that's great,
Sounds
but I would
pretty-
love if Valve would start talking about like Half-Life 3.
No, that's stupid. Get out of here.
That's
Never
never happening. Like I just don't suspect it to happen at this point.
How into Half-Life are you guys?
They have absolutely abandoned all ideas of Half-Life when they stopped. Like, and I mean it. Like, it's no longer their marketing thing anymore. Their marketing, their marketing thing, like all the VR tutorials, all the Steam controller promotional videos, they're all Portal.
Yeah.
They've absolutely forgotten about Half-Life.
Well, but here's the thing though: is I don't know how big you guys were into Half-Life and how if you guys were crazy like me and like looked up a bunch of different theories and like some data mining that people did and all this stuff, but from not even my understanding, I guess it's just like my hope and my fantasy, is that the next story would involve the Portal side of the universe. So it would combine, because they're going to the I forget the name of the ship, but they're going to the ship that was like, it had something to do with Aperture, and that maybe eventually they'd cross streams. And if that ever happened, like, I'd just quit video games forever. I'd be like, I'm done.
Well, look, right now what Mr. Gabe Newell needs to do is pass first grade math and learn how to count to 3.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. Like
Gabriel, what comes after 2?
He does not know.
Like, I personally believe that they're so like hung up on Steam and they make so much money there that there's no reason for them to ever do Half-Life 3 because of it. Like, they're already like rich and rolling in dough, you know.
But they'll make like 3 times the amount of money. Oh, wait a minute.
I know.
I think Valve was smart enough to know that, like, after all of this time, if Half-Life 3 comes out and it's nothing short of like unbelievable, people are just going to shit on it, and it's going to be a huge failure.
Oh yeah.
So there's no reward for the risk.
Yeah, it's way too much hype at this point. Like, people have been waiting for it for like years.
It's like Batman vs Superman. Everyone was waiting for that movie for so long.
Yeah.
And it turned out terrible, so everyone was like, "Oh my god, hate superhero movies. They're the worst thing ever. Marvel is king, all that kind of stuff." So it's been too long. Like, you can do The Last Guardian, but even so, people still didn't like that game in some aspects. So it's been too long.
Oh, come on, but No Man's Sky really... Oh, wait a minute.
I was about to say No Man's Sky. Like, if No Man's Sky had come out, nobody knew about it, and it was like $40 or something like that. Like, it would have just kind of passed, and people who liked it would have picked it up, and that would have been it. It wouldn't even have been a deal. But the
then
hype...
PlayStation was like, "Hey, can I market your game?"
Yes. Yep.
And oh, come on, Sonic 06 had to be the goddamn it.
Exactly.
I don't know who accepted that. Like, Sega, you were on some serious crack by accepting that.
Oh,
Sonic kissing a human. Why?
But at least Sonic Boom shows some. Oh. I just keep rolling them out today. Oh, but Street Fighter 5. God damn it, Capcom.
Nice.
Yeah, there's.
What do you think about Colleen?
Phew. I the first thing I said was, "Who was this?" I have no idea who this is, and then someone told me, "Oh, it's Gil's assistant from Street Fighter 3," and I'm like, "Huh? I don't even remember that, to be honest." Like, because Street Fighter 3, the version I have is the online version, so I don't have any arcade stuff, and I never played with like Gil at all, so I never saw that before ever.
They said that none of the new characters will be,
established ones.
Characters who've never been playable before. But then I was like, what's the point of showing Gil in the end of at the end of the story mode then? Like, you have Gil. Now I want to play as Gil, so.
I think Capcom, they like to bait and switch people a lot.
Yes, yeah, which is really annoying.
Capcom? No.
Guys now who are villains.
It's called the release of Street Fighter V in general.
Or hey guys, you want to have this Resident Evil 7 DLC? Well, if you want the true ending to the game, the epilogues, you have to either pay for them or download them, which is the case with Dead Rising.
Wait,
to be fair, the Resident Evil 7 DLC that actually
That is
matters
free.
is going to be free.
That is free, but
So, like,
it's
kudos
still
to them.
It's still not, to me, I still think it's a part of the game that's vital if it's the true epilogue. For Dead Rising, there's no excuse. There's like,
there's no excuse.
there's no excuse there.
Wait, hold on. Isn't it also RE7 that had a special edition without the game in it?
Yes, I think that's the collector's edition, if I'm not too mistaken.
Unfortunately, that just seems to be a brand new retarded trend that just showed up.
Oh yes, a collector's edition. We're gonna give you all this stuff. But what about the game? Oh, right.
No. It's like,
No.
yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I
You're
hadn't heard
gonna...
of that. That's.
So you pay like $100 for a collector's edition, but then you have to pay an extra $60 for the game. It's just like it's like sucker's choice right there.
Wow.
Legitimately every EA title right now.
This is a major hardcore lot.
Fucking kudos to fucking Ubisoft. My buddy pre-ordered Ghost Recon Wildlands' like big dick collector's edition with the Grim Reaper statue, and it comes with the video game. Who would have thought?
Like, there's so many bad business practices in video games, so many awful choices. Like, microtransactions, games being taken out of collector's editions, online passes.
Pay to win.
Never
yeah.
forget that an EA corporate man once said, "What if we make the player charge 25 cents to reload?"
To reload. Yep.
Oh, that's so
Wait,
dumb.
on disc DLC, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, anyone?
I remember there was a
On this DLC is ridiculous.
There was a racing game that you could actually use real money to pay for gas in game.
What?
Why would
Yeah.
anybody?
Gross.
That sounds like
anybody
a
do that?
social experiment than more
Yeah,
than anything.
seriously.
Social experiment.
Black Mirror would come up with.
It was
No,
so
even
terrible.
So even worse, the price raises up like every other minute, just like gas in real life.
Just like
Gas
real
inflation.
gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, how much do I gotta pay for this? $2.19 per. God damn it!
Those games that are like simulation type deals, like the truck driving things, I mean, to each their own, I guess, but
Not
Man,
really a
that
fan either. Like
that stuff is crazy.
the games that I like that are racing, they have to be arcadey, like Burnout or something.
Oh my
or
God.
MotorStorm.
Oh, hell yeah.
The fucking
Zombies having a field day now.
I know.
Because you brought up simulation games, and I just had a fucking like
Aneurysm?
no,
Yeah,
a
no, for
Vietnam
real, yeah,
flashback of Euro Truck Simulator.
Oh.
Oh.
Like, let me tell you a story. That shit is off the charts only because I don't know why. Just like 4 o'clock in the morning, running deliveries in a convoy with friends, and then the fucking all the trucks had collision.
Yes.
So if you collided with a friend, you could fuck up their cargo. And like my friend just like fucking slammed the brakes in front of me, and I couldn't stop in time. There was that one. I have a clip, but I'm not gonna fucking search through it. I'm just changing lanes innocently, and in the side view mirror, I just hear my friend scream, "What are you doing? Stop! No!" And I didn't know what happened. In the footage, in the side view mirror, you can see me change lanes, and I just clip him slightly, and his truck tips.
Nice.
That sounds as worse as what's that game? Big Rigs.
I'll never understand why. Oh, Big Rigs, which had the opposite problem, where nothing had collision.
Oh yeah, that was terrible too. Like in terms of terribleness.
You want to know how to have extreme fun in Big Rigs? Hold down the arrow. Hold down the down arrow key.
But you don't get it. There was we were in the United Kingdoms, dicking around and having fun, learning the tools of trade, and it's like, okay, we gotta get to Germany, so we fucking hop on a boat. We take a ferry to Germany, and we're like, oh, there's some players. I haven't seen a few players around, and we're trying to leave Germany. There's a fucking 400-player traffic jam.
Wow.
Uns ja.
And people causing the traffic jam were getting banned. People were breaking rules of the road to fucking get around the traffic jam. They were getting banned.
The rules of the road.
The fucking moderators actually wanted people to experience this fucking traffic jam.
So they told people, go out here and see this car pile up.
Uns ja, we're going to send you to the prison, yeah.
I'll never understand why developers put in, like, just dumbass things like that. Like, that's when you need to beta test stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
you mean like in Shadow of the Colossus, where they made the horse intentionally disobey you sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is the Last Guardian's AI... Is Last Guardian's, like, terrible AI on purpose?
Yeah, so they say. I haven't played it yet.
Everyone hated the controls. They're too, like not responsive enough. Like, the kid would just jump and he would just fall. He wouldn't grab
I
onto
just see
anything.
problems with the game, like, where they're supposed to be scripted grabs and the monster's just like, nah, fuck you, man, I don't care.
They say that the idea is that
rude
it's like you're
cutscenes.
training a real animal.
No.
But I haven't played it, so I don't know.
No amount of
Like that-
excuses is going to say
that-
bad programming quirk.
That
okay?
absolutely sounds like when Assassin's Creed is like, well, there's a problem with the animus.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
why
really.
your face is missing. The
That's
animus
one
is
of my-
freaking out.
That's one of my favorite cop-outs of all time.
And it's like, I'm having this problem in the real world. Shit!
Like, the
It's-
amount of fucks they gave on that. That's like Yu-Gi-Oh! It reminds me of Yu-Gi-Oh! When they were like, with Exodia, they were like, oh, we have this thing that's like this huge Deus Ex Machina. We have to get rid of it. And they're like, all right. They throw it off a boat. The end.
Yeah, so realism, I mean, when it comes to video games and stuff like that, it doesn't translate too well because who wants to do things like mundane tasks where you have to like drive and listen to real world stoplights in a video game? You want to obviously go outside of the boundaries, destroy stuff, have fun, have a good time.
Hacks Day
You don't
Simulator
really
for
need to play it
2017.
properly.
That's my biggest that's my biggest problem with like current sports games for the most part, especially basketball games. That's why I started my whole series, because I played 2K17 and I just was not having fun because it's gotten to a point where it's so much a simulation that it's like, well, I might as well just like go outside and play basketball. Or when you do the career mode, there's off days and you have to go through each off day, and you could skip them, but there's like a negative consequence to that. Then you have to go to events and you have to go to practice, and it's like they don't understand that this is a video game. I just want to play the game. Like, it needs to be arcadey in a sense. It
Yeah,
needs to be fun.
like my philosophy is like if I'm playing like Grand Theft Auto or something and I'm like driving, I'm gonna drive on the sidewalk. I don't care. I'm gonna be like, yep, that's one civilian dead. Oh, that's another one. Oh, well, he's a hood ornament, so
Psychopathic tendency somehow.
yeah. So it's like you gotta have some fun with it. If it's just counterintuitive, it's not gonna work out well in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't play Assassin's Creed, just watch it like the movie at this point.
Yeah. Oh, that's
That
another
sucks,
story
though.
entirely. Oh god, video game movies. I don't think they're ever gonna get them
Yeah.
right.
When are they gonna make a good one?
Like, oh god, the character development was so bad. It was just like,
Wait,
oh.
a good video game movie here, Ratchet
Do
and
you-
Clank.
Do you know they make a
no.
good video game movie? I just figured out, guys. If David Cage makes a movie,
Hold on. Is Ratchet and Clank the movie really good? Because I've
It
I've
is.
heard
I
people
like it.
legitimately say if you play
it
the
for real?
game, don't watch the movie. If you watch the movie, don't play the game.
That's because the game is based off the movie that's based off the game.
Yeah, the game has the same cut. I think it has the same like scenes from the
Yeah.
movie.
It has
Oh.
okay, it has
So is
multiple.
that really a good video game movie, or is it just a good movie that happens to also be a
Be
video
based on a video
game?
game.
I
Good
think
movie
the
by any
movie was-
standards,
Wait,
really.
I forget which one was made first. Because now you see that's the confusing thing.
I think the game was
They
made
launched at the
first.
same time, though.
But the thing is though is that it's a legitimately good movie, but the game itself is also a legitimately good game.
Right.
I think to break your confidence in that more is I think they released on the same day.
Really? No,
Wow.
I didn't know that. But I will say like the CGI movies, they are infinitely better than live action because they seem to just nail it when it comes to how the characters are, as opposed to saying, well, here's like this random celebrity.
Right, you have to-
He's
Well,
now
here's
gonna
the
be
problem.
You have to cast a movie star.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's lies in the problem is that the actor is going to look at the script and be like, well, that's how I want this character to be, and,
Right.
But
and
there's
play
like
that character with that kind of attitude, and it's like maybe he doesn't have that kind
there
of
are
attitude,
some
though.
there's some caveats to it. Like if they cast like a real actor to make the movie big, sure the movie might have some popularity to it, but at the same time it's gonna be like, well, there's just this face here, and I'm so used to seeing this actor, and it's like, will he really fill the part? Because any good actor, they can still like not get something right in terms of a character. Like everything can rely on the writing as well. So if it's bad writing,
Yeah.
like Mortal Kombat Annihilation, even though Robin Shu, he looked completely like Liu Kang, they just messed up the script and
I thought
they
it was great.
ruined.
Okay.
Yeah, he was great, but they messed up the script and everything from the original was lost.
Also a great
Yeah, the
adult
writing was
Mowgli.
an important part of the movie, really, or any
Yeah.
movie, to be honest. That and directing.
Yeah, bad acting, bad directing, and people who aren't really fans. Like, a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm not fans of the source material. It's like, you need that to make a good video game movie, though.
Yes.
Not necessarily, though. I mean, like, Matt Smith, just to take us slightly off topic, Matt Smith wasn't a big fan of Doctor. Yeah, he's one of the most popular, like, doctors of all time. Like, you don't have to be Tennant, who was, like, a major
interesting.
league fan, to make a good, like, character.
Okay, I put it like this. The people that are willing to learn about the lore
Yeah,
are
you
the
would,
people, the people that give it a chance. There's some directors that don't give it a chance. Like, one of the actors for Daredevil, Charlie Cox, I believe, he said he wasn't that big into the comics. But then he went back and he did his research. So anyone willing to do that to make a better movie, that's cool. But anyone not willing to do that, like, they won't understand the characters and how some of the story works because they didn't take that time to learn the research.
They've actually read stuff about it.
I mean-
like for Benedict Cumberbatch and Doctor Strange, for example, he
Yeah.
definitely read something.
It's like if they do something new and different, but it's new and creative to the formula, then that I can understand. But not someone that says, I'm doing this for a paycheck, like Uwe Boll or something. That's terrible.
Oh well.
I
yeah,
think
no.
I think case in point of ruining source material but still keeping true to it in a way is The
The
Witcher.
second double door. Oh, sorry.
The Witcher games, they're not canon. They're super not canon. The main character dies at the end of the books, and
Oh,
the
really?
the games take place after.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, there are some exceptions to the rule, but just the people that just don't care. Like it's like, I'm Mr. Uwe Boll here. I got that, tax law that
Tax write-off. Yeah, yes, sir.
that I can get money by making
Now
bad
fight me.
movies. Yeah, fight me in the ring and I'll knock you out because this is what I do to my critics.
He's a funny dude. You guys, did any of you guys read Cracked?
No, actually, I don't think I did.
So back in the day, but do you know? Oh no, I forget his name now. There's a writer that used to write for Cracked. That's kind of spun off into other stuff now. He's not there anymore. He's like a bigger internet guy. But he also shit on the movie, and Uwe Boll his people contacted him, said, "Hey, I'm going to fight you," but part of the requirement was that you had to tell them what your fighting experience was, like basically your specs. And he said, "Oh well, I train in boxing and I'm this big and I'm this stuff." And they said, "Oh, never mind," because like Uwe Boll didn't want to actually fight people. He just wanted to fight like you know.
Little guys he can pick on, so he's a bully.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this mug, you know, but I don't like him, but I respect it.
Oh, it's like when you're sitting down. It's like when you're sitting down and you're like, you're saying "fight me" to some guy. He stands up and he's like 6'2".
That legit happened to me in high school.
Oh, it's like 6'2", goes to the gym like 4 days a week or something.
Oh, this guy's a beanstalk. Yeah, I'm
Somebody
just
came up to
gonna.
me. Like,
And
I'm
he
not a big
freaking-
dude.
And he
Somebody came
benches
up to me.
200 with his pinky.
Yeah.
I'll
Somebody
sucker
came up to me and
punch him.
started
Yeah.
talking shit, and I stood up to like throw my lunch away. I didn't even stand up to come to him. I just stood up because I was laughing it off. Just throw my lunch away, and he's back down because he was like 5'2". I was like, "What are you doing, dude?"
You should have just said, you know what? You do that again, I'm gonna just throw you in a basketball hoop.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Short man syndrome is a funny thing.
Short man syndrome. Oh man,
Like all tall jokes.
but I mean, there's still some hope. I hope that new CGI Resident Evil movie is good next year.
Real narrative driven game. Of
You
course.
know, the ones actually based off the games aren't too bad.
But the live action ones, I heard they
Those
were
are legitimate, like, theatrical abortions.
like the perfect analogy is people saying you really have to turn your brain off to enjoy those movies.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
But I just can't do it. Like I just, as a fan of the series, I'm like I watch it and then all my problems just started to pour out.
Well,
Are
anytime
you
anybody says you
sure
have to turn your brain off.
Are you sure you didn't turn your brain off hard
Yeah,
enough to
yeah.
enjoy that Nemesis boxing match?
Oh yeah, that part where Nemesis, actually had a heart and he was in love with someone, even though he's a diabolical monster, a freak of nature.
And lost in a fist fight.
I hate when somebody says turn your brain off. Like, oh, you just didn't turn your brain off.
Yeah, it's not a
Like,
movie.
no, it was a shitty movie, dude.
Yeah, that's true. Like in essence, it is a shitty movie. There's no defending it.
I can't believe they have as many sequels as they do.
How many? Like 7, 8?
There's like
And
5
we're
of those.
coming around. We've come around to 7, I think.
Oh yeah.
Who's
So-
funding those?
I don't know. Paul Anderson. Somehow he gets money.
Huh.
He's the worst Anderson out there.
The worst Anderson.
I don't understand it. It's almost like they're like, is that a new Resident Evil game? Click. We gotta start shooting.
Yes.
It
It's
literally
weird.
goes that fast. They just kidnap the main actress. Like, okay, you're back in another Resident Evil movie. Get back to it. Just run around this green screen show for a little bit. Okay, that's fine. Let's throw it out there before the game comes out.
He's like, no, like, she's my wife and all, so, I like putting her in these movies because she is a valuable item. So I'm going to do that. It's like so funny because like she's in every single one, and you think to yourself as a Resident Evil fan, where are the other characters and why are they introduced like so late? And then they start dying off, and it's like, what's going on?
I think one guy was just named Chris Redfield just to be Chris Redfield, and then he died.
Oh yeah, I remember they had Chris, and then
Like, there was a guy in a cage for, like, most of the movie. I'm not sure if he was the one that was Chris Redfield.
I'm
but
pretty
his
sure he
name-
was.
Yeah, he's just, like, 90% into this movie. It's, like, the 5th or 6th one. He's like, by the way, I'm Chris Redfield. And you're like, oh, wow, it's Chris Redfield, and he dies.
Yeah. So, like, some of the movies, they don't do the characters justice either. Like, they're either side characters or secondary, even though they're the main characters.
Man, I just don't understand bringing in... Never mind.
Like, hello, my name is Cunt Redfield. Happy to be of service.
I was gonna make a pretty meta joke of, like, boy, introducing first-party characters late into the story is pretty silly.
Oh, so he's DLC.
Exactly.
Okay.
I know Capcom would never do such a thing.
Oh, boy.
$5 extra in your seat.
I really, like, fuck, man. It's so sad. Remember, like, throughout like probably when I joined, I was like, I have high hopes for Resident Evil 7, and like Dom was like, no, don't do it, and I was like, no, I gotta believe. And then I played Resident Evil 7, and I'm like, this lives up to everything I ever It's over.
Nice.
I beat it in 7 hours.
Really? That's how long it was?
For me, anyway. My friend beat it in 8.
You beat it in 7 hours. Ha 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 ha.
I do think RE4 was much longer. That game clocked in at like about 13 in my first playthrough.
I haven't finished RE4 yet on PC,
that game's long
and
too.
that game is taking me 15 hours.
Nice.
How do you guys feel about replay value? What's the best amount in your opinion?
Metal Gear Solid 3.
290 hours into that game. I spent 5 hours straight on that game. Just had to keep going and going one more run over and over again just to try and beat the big bad boss at the end.
I'm not sure like what's a good amount of replay value, but the best example I could think of is Metal Gear Solid 3, where I must have played that game 14 times now, and I'm still learning little bits about the game that I've never known.
Yeah, any game that makes you come back is very good, in my opinion, at least, because it means that it has a lot going for it, and it doesn't get, like, repetitive at all. Like, you can play it each and every single time and not get bored or learn new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be Dark Souls for me as well.
Dark Souls is good. The Soulsborne games for me are that's a good pick.
Yeah,
they're meant for that sort of thing.
I also, more recently, Dishonored 2, I don't know if you guys are into it, but Dishonored 2, with the update that they had, not recently, but a while ago, where with New Game Plus, you keep the powers of, you could have both powers for one character.
Oh, yeah.
So that just opens everything up, and so then you could just kind of just go ham.
I feel like it's a lot easier for a stealth game. Well, a game rooted in stealth mechanics to have more replay value.
Oh, definitely.
Because all the ones that I can think of in my head are stealth games.
I think
where I'm thinking of Hitman.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Hitman, Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell's a good one.
Yeah.
So many branching paths, different opportunities, different, yeah.
And then you earn the stealth camo in any Metal Gear Solid game and go at it.
It's still fucking fun. I love. When I was a kid, I would play Twin Snakes and just like punch soldiers in the back of the head and then just leave.
I used to like just hold them up and punch them in the nuts sometimes, which was funny.
You can shoot them in the nuts, and they have a special animation for that.
They do. I was like, Kojima, you quirky but strange bastard.
Yeah. And then in MGS3, they come back as ghosts, grabbing their crotch and screaming at you, "Why'd you shoot me in the crotch?"
Do they do that during the Sorrow fight?
Yeah, they will grip their crotch, and they have special dialogue about it.
Oh my god!
They're like, "Why would you do that, dude?"
Kojima is a brilliant man.
One of my playthroughs, I legitimately went on a mission on one of my playthroughs to kill as many soldiers as I could by knocking them out and shooting them in the dick.
Like, the moose is loose.
Zombie, how long did the Sorrow River cross last by any chance during that, like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Like,
God damn, I don't think I could make it to the end, honestly.
It depends on how many people you killed, I believe. If you didn't kill that many, it's very short.
It literally, if you do nothing with stamina kills, it's, like, very, very short.
I always liked that, Metal Gear games always kind of had some shape, way, or form of slapping you in the face for murdering people.
It's great.
Like, they were too on the nose in MGS2, where they're just like, "Oh boy, you're Jack the Ripper or something. Who cares?" But like fucking like a hidden karma aspect in Phantom Pain and like a fucking river boss fight.
It's just like if with any type of stealth game, you need that type of stuff. Like if you don't do that right, then it's
well,
no
the
good.
easiest way, the way I play stealth games is if the only way I can't get caught is if nobody's there to see me.
Sure, and the easiest way to clear most levels in most stealth games is to kill everybody.
Or trank them.
That's why,
Yeah.
right? Sure, you could trank them. Yeah.
No, but eventually, the problem with Metal Gear is that they eventually wake up and then they throw the whole place into
Yeah.
a semi-alert phase.
Yeah, they'll get on like a slight alert or something, and then it's like, oh well, these assholes are more alert. I got to be more careful because they might call in reinforcements or something.
But like I've played Dishonored 1 a bunch of times. I've played Dishonored 2 a couple of times. I'm in there on Dishonored, and I still, to this day, have never, and I don't understand how people. They beat the game without, like, they ghost the whole game, and I don't understand how they do that. But stealth games have to have that option so that it adds to replay value too. Is you just
I
get
just
real good at it.
I think the problem is that more games need Metal Gear's like guards actually fucking wake up.
Yes. No
Because
doubt.
I need a bigger reason to choose killing somebody and choking them out rather than like in Dishonored where it's just, oh no, I'm doing a 2-second chokehold
Yes. Yeah. No.
that I can move them freely in and it's totally silent.
They still didn't balance Dishonored 2. And I haven't played it since. I haven't played it in a little while, but when I first played through it, they still did not balance it properly. It was better, and the AI was better, but it was not balanced properly, to where you could do pretty much what you want to do.
Stealth
But
games-
it's. Go ahead.
Stealth games are like in that weird stage though where like we've only recently gotten like capable stealth games because of how AI has gotten now.
Yeah. Yep.
So like they're all super all over the fucking place.
Yeah, now it's like everyone stays asleep, or there's some easy mechanics, or you can tag everybody. I mean, I just like those stealth games that are hard, like enemies really track you down, so everything doesn't feel like the player's getting one up over the enemies, because easily you could just be quiet the entire time, not get spotted at all, and the game would be easy. But if there's challenge, then that makes stealth games a lot more interesting because there's something to look forward to when your position is blown.
The Metal Gear games are so hard because of that.
Yes. Like, when I see guys coming out with, like, glass shields or whatever, I'm like, oh shit, well, I gotta improvise now.
Would you
I was just playing the Phantom Pain earlier today. When I first played through it, I had turned off reaction mode because I was like, that's gonna make the game too fucking easy. And I decided I'll turn it on this time around. It makes everything mind-numbingly easy. Without it, it's just like a guy saw me 50 feet away and everyone's barreling down on me.
Yeah.
Would you like to play on European Extreme?
Oh god, I remember that. Get spotted once, game over.
The ultimate stealth game challenge.
I still hate forced stealth.
Oh, when you have to do it?
Wait, like in
on getting spotted.
Wait, like in games where it's not built around it?
No, like Assassin's Creed. Where it's just like, escort the guy. Oh, you got spotted, fuck you.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I think Metal Gear has had it right since the beginning, where it's like, you got spotted, you're most likely going to fucking die here, but at least you can have a fighting chance.
You got spotted, but figure this shit out if you can.
Instant game over spotted at least makes sense in some situations, like in the tanker chapter of MGS2. If you get spotted in a room full of Marines, you're not getting out.
Oh, yeah.
So at least it makes sense to why it's instant game over if you get spotted.
Yeah, that's like a good story reason, but I mean, like in Assassin's Creed, where they have so many, and then Watch Dogs has so many, and Watch Dogs 2 didn't, thank God, even though, God, Watch Dogs 2 is a weird game.
Part of me kind of liked Watch Dogs 2, but another part of me was thinking like, this is I don't know, there's still some mechanics that needed refining, in my opinion.
In terms of storyline, I didn't feel like Marcus was the kind of guy to kill anybody, and yet...
You could just be a psychopath if you wanted.
Yeah. You could shoot up Google, for fuck's sake.
And I heard you can hack Ubisoft in that game, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, they
Their
have, like,
whole
a
office is just
exclusive
tattered
trailer
and siege stuff.
with,
It's great.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's weird when the character is different than the player character, if that makes sense. And it's like they don't seem to have that personality, but I can play this way.
No,
As a
but I
human.
mean, like 100%, the game does not revolve around this character killing people, but you can kill people.
Yeah.
So like you could shoot up the security staff at the Google, they call it Noodle, I think.
Yeah.
And then like you finish the mission and he's like chilling out on the campus, hanging around. The guy comes up like, "Yo, they just arrested that asshole because they found incriminating shit on their computer." And it's like, "Oh, what'd they say about the 14 bodies?"
Oh yeah, that Ludonarrative distances though.
It's just like I'm usually not bothered by that. I'm usually like the kind of guy that's like, leave it up to the players and leave everything out of context. But like, you break into the FBI building and you could just kill a bunch of FBI people and there's nothing about that.
Well, yeah, you have to pick one or the other.
How about GTA with its police?
Oh, the police. Just,
Oh.
You could
shoot,
practically murder the SWAT team, but if you manage to duck under a bridge for like at least 2 minutes, they're like, whatever, let's just go back home and get some lunch.
But that's a thing in like GTA where they'll at least pull guns out in cutscenes, and like a cutscene usually trails off into where this is going to erupt into a gunfight. There's not a single moment in Watch Dogs 2 where something's going to erupt into a gunfight.
Yeah, like.
But you can elevate it, and then
Yeah.
the game acts like there was never a gunfight.
Oh, go ahead, Blue.
Alright, I was gonna say, like, there's this thing as well in the game, like, where you're supposed to, like, prep an attack on this gang, and you can choose when they arrive. Like, you could just set up your tricks and your bombs and whatever, or you can just say, no, they'll just come now. You can literally say to the game, okay, I want them to come right now. You don't have a time limit or anything. You can literally spend 20 minutes prepping.
Yeah,
their
like-
attack.
Like I said, it's definitely a Ludonarrative where your character might not want to kill people, but you as a player, obviously, you are able to break that by going out and shooting people that you want to your heart's content, which might make the game seem like wacky. It depends on how it works, though, to make it believable.
It's super. The problem is that it does it terribly because it's like, oh, there was a cyber attack on Noodle headquarters, and it's like, yeah, that's it, a cyber attack, not a full-on terrorist threat.
Right, like imagine that in real life. Like, of course, like
That would be big.
You can't really do that for any video game, but like it's just like narratively, it's super.
Sure,
broken.
that's what I'm saying. Though, it's like the news report would not be there as a cyber attack. The news report would be, massive. Yeah, like you said, terrorist attack.
The hacker group in the game is called DedSec. They wouldn't even be a hacker group. They'd just be a fucking ISIS.
Yeah,
Terrorists, yeah.
They have the power of ISIS practically. Not more.
But yeah, the only game I think where it makes sense is Last of Us, because I mean those people are killing to survive, so I sort of get it in the sense that it's pretty much mandatory. You either kill or be killed.
But who in Last of Us? I mean, when I played Last of Us, I read the characters as totally willing to do what they needed to do.
Yes.
It's been
Like-
10 years since the zombies broke out, so I think you'd be used to it by then.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody in Last of Us that was like you would shoot a bunch of people and kill a bunch of people, and then there'd be a cutscene where it was like, oh, well, that didn't happen. Oh, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's like it just depends on the means of what they do. There is some ridiculous stuff that they will obviously waste time on. Like, there's no way that you have the military outside of a checkpoint and you would just stand around digging around doing nothing,
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, it's just when it comes to how they operate, and you have the hunters trying to scavenge for food, kill people, do stuff like that. I can see where it makes sense there.
I also get that feeling of like where it hits a nail on the head for that in The Witcher, where I think it's a really I fucking love The Witcher. It's probably my favorite game to come out at all. But
Wow.
the way it's written is just like the main character is this sarcastic, emotionless thing because he's been created like that. So it all
Okay.
just works, and his reasoning for things just work. There's never just like an outwardly evil choice. There's an outwardly evil choice because of X.
Yeah, one of these days I'll get around to those Witcher games.
That's oh man, the Witcher games. It's really hard. It's really hard to say just start at this one because the first Witcher's ugly as sin and controls like shit,
Oh, nice.
but they all reference each other like
Oh,
unforgivingly.
one of them.
Absolutely unforgivingly.